Bear here to share with you another finished object for the month of March, and this again is a baby gift set. We are having a number of new little ones in our family as well as in my friends' families, and so I have been busy creating baby gift sets that we can give to those who are having these little ones. So let me tell you about this baby gift set. It is a Work Sock Baby Snuggler gift set, and everything that I'm going to show you in this gift set is a free pattern on Ravelry. There are a number of patterns that I put together to create this gift set, and let me share that with you. So the first of this gift set is the Work Sock Snuggler, and this is by Shelley. And this pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry. It calls for a chunky weight yarn and a US 9 or a 5.5 millimeter needle, and that's exactly what I used when I created this. I used the Estelle chunky yarn. It comes in 100-gram skeins, and for this knit, I used all of the gray, so that's 100 grams. With the white, I used 73 grams, and for the red, I only used 4 grams. So I bought a ball of white, a ball of gray, and a ball of red. And let me tell you about the construction of this piece. So it is a top-down construction. You're knitting back and forth till you get to the split, and you're knitting back and forth in a ribbing, which is a two knit two purl ribbing, and then you add in the red, and then you continue in the white. When you get down to this point, you rib to the back, and then that becomes your beginning of the round. And then you are knitting in the round with, first you're knitting in the round in the ribbing, and then you're knitting in the round with the gray, which is knits, quite a bit of number of knits, and then some purls, and you're going all the way down for a number of inches until you get to the bottom section where this is just knitting, no purling, and there's decreases to form the finished toe of the sock. So this snuggler is I think it's about 12 inches long with that gray section, and then with the rest of the body, it's a little bit bigger. I have also made this with worsted weight yarn, so if you don't want to work with a chunky yarn, check out my Ravelry page and look at search Snuggler, and you will find, because I have made this a number of times, this is typically something that I like to give to new parents because it's a really practical, and it is also a really beautiful knit, and then I can put a few other items with it. I use this Estelle yarn because it can be washed, and I try to make the laundry easy for these new parents. And I have made already 6 of these, so will I do this again? Oh, yes, very likely. uh, yeah, lovely knit. And I add my little Care Bear knitwear tag there. I don't knit for anybody but family and friends and charity, and so I always put my little tag on it. So let me tell you about the other piece that I include with this. So the Work Sock Snuggler is the first piece, and then the second item that I include with it is a hat. And this is the first time that I've made this backcountry hat, and the design is by Jackie. And it is a free pattern on Ravelry, and she has, it calls for chunky weight yarn, and there are 6 different sizes from baby to adult. So if you like working with chunky yarn and you're looking for a free hat pattern, this is the one that's free on Ravelry. So it calls for 4.5 millimeter or US 7 for the ribbing, and then for the body it calls for 5.5 millimeter, and that's what I used when I created this. I did the very smallest size, and I think I would do the next size up next time I do it. I used the Estelle Chunky again. It was 28 grams of the red, and I used 4 grams of the white. I didn't have anything left of that gray, so I didn't include the gray. I used the whole 100 grams of gray in with the snuggler, so I didn't include it. This is a bottom-up construction. It starts with a knit 2, purl 2 ribbing, and that's what I put in. And then I just added this number of rounds of the white. This is knit in the round. I use DPNs. You could use magic loop if you wanted to, and it's a bottom-up construction. You then, once you get up into the body, you get to the crown part, and you decrease for the top of that hat. And yeah, pretty simple. The only thing I would change is I don't know, maybe it's gonna fit a baby really well, but I think it's a bit narrow and longer because there's about 9 rounds that are involved in the decreasing of the crown. And I think I would just do the next size up, which had a number of extra stitches, I think about 4 extra, which makes it a little bit wider. And I think that would work better for this knit. But anyway, that's the hat that's going to go with the snuggler. And let me show you what else I made with it because I still had yarn left over. I bought 300-gram balls, the red, the white, and the gray. And so the next thing I looked for on Ravelry, I looked for a pattern for socks that were made with a chunky yarn. And I found these Northsea Socks that she has 3 sizes, I think, from newborn to 18 months. I made the 3 to 9 month size sock, and it called for US 8 chunky yarn. I used the Estelle Chunky that I had used in with the others, and I used the 5mm needles the whole way through, and it took 32 grams of the red and 8 grams of the white. And so let me tell you a little bit about the construction of these socks. So they are a toe up construction. So you are using Judy's Magic Cast On to start the sock, and then you are doing some gradual increases throughout the toe. You get into the foot area and you knit a number of rounds. Again, you're doing the sock in the round, so I was using DPNs. And you get to the heel, and the heel is created with short rows. Once you finish the heel, you go into the body of the sock. Couple rounds I think I did, and then I went right into the ribbing, and I just did a single rib, a knit purl rib for a number of rows, and then I cast off and washed it and added my Care Bear Knitwear tag. And when you fold it in half, it gives you Bear Wear and Care Knit on the other side. And yeah, so those are the little socks that I add with the snuggler, the hat. And I still had yarn left over. So the last little knit that I included with this gift set are these little mittens. And they're not really mittens. There's no thumb in them, but they're great for little ones so they don't squish their face or the rest of their body. This again is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's by Lion Brand Yarns and the design, and it is for, they only have one size for baby to 6 months, so that's what I created. It calls for chunky yarn. I had actually researched to find these for chunky yarn, and they use a US 9 or for 5.5mm needle, and I used that to make the mittens. I used 6 grams of the white, 8 grams of the red, And I think I still have a little bit of yarn left over of the red and the white, but not much. So these little mittens are a bottom-up construction. You start with the ribbing, and then you go into the body, which is just knitting the round up until you get to the top point where you're going to do a couple rounds where you decrease, and then you just pull the yarn through at the end when you have a number of stitches left. And that's how simple those are to knit. So this is a baby set. All the patterns are free patterns on Ravelry from the Work Sock Snuggler, the mittens, the hat, and the little socks. So free patterns on Ravelry. If you have to make a baby gift, this makes for a lovely gift set. Check it out. It's on Ravelry.